Hello and welcome back. Billy Ho Sports is here. This Saturday at Gulfstream Park is going to be all a buzz for the Florida Derby, but we're here to crack that late pick five today. So remember, go back and enter my giveaway for the vintage Kentucky Derby glasses. So just pick the winner of the Florida Derby in the comments, then go over to the Arkansas Derby, pick the winner of that race. I also have the Oaklawn Mile. That's going to be a special bonus glass giveaway. So go find my Oaklawn Mile video and hit that up with your winner. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And make sure you hit that like too while you're at it. And we're going to jump right into things with race number 10 on the Gulfstream card. That is going to be the Sanibel Island, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Number one, Candy Quest is 2 out of 3, coming off nice 8.5 furlong win. Has the rail, 25%. Second only to Chad Brown when it comes to the grass is one Mark Cassie. Nice turn of foot and closes strong. So this one she can win. So Candy Quest is on the list. Now you have number 2, Miss Worldwide, also one to consider for Brian Lynch. She nearly won a grade 3 event. Just almost got there, but the 4-5 favorite Vixen caught her. She pressed, took the lead, but couldn't quite beat the filly Vixen. Lynch is 23% in non-graded stakes, and it's a slight cutback. So value play with Saez up. Miss Worldwide, very nice looking horse. And now we have Love Cervere. I would say that's how that's said. T-Gaff and Clement hook up. Ginger Brew, Broker Maiden, 6 furlongs. Wasn't very good at the start of the Ginger Brew, but got up for second and settled in off the pace. She's a contender, so that's one to keep an eye on as well. And now it's Witchcraft. Blinkers on. Gonna need some magic for this filly to win the race, so we're gonna pass on Witchcraft. Probably pass on La Cantera too. And then you have Savetta, who's first in prime power. Can't pass that one. Morning line favorite. Godolphin horse. Brendan Walsh. Irad Ortiz. Irad owns Gulfstream. Ran 5th in the Here Comes the Bride. 3rd in the Ginger Brew, who we've covered 2 different horses. Outran her in each. She's into Mischief horse. Ginger Brew, close to winning, but Nitrogen caught her. Nitrogen won the Florida Oaks a couple of weeks ago. That might have been a key race, so definite use here. And then the rest of the field, I think not a whole lot going on for Annie Goodbody. Gonna pass on that one. And Bunratty Manor is also gonna be a pass. I think the just I always like the negative comments to help me decide things. So after looking at this one, Dettori's really just fallen off the map. He just really struggling. You can see 4%. He's got 1 win in 28 starts. So maybe he's due for some positive regression. I don't know. Spirited Boss, I think, was one that we'll definitely have to look at here. Jose D'Angelo moving to the grass from the all-weather. She won versus Statebreds, has the pedigree to run on turf. She's out of Spirited Storm, who had a couple of turf winners. Good speed, but lacks the class, in my opinion, so I'll probably not use her. Classic Q, another one. Outside post makes it tough, though. Here Comes the Bride was 4th. Not too bad. But and I don't think I'll have any interest in the alternate entry there. But leg 1, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 6. I'm gonna fade the 10 and play the percentages. Like I said, poor post position and everything like that. But 1, 2, 3, 6, just to recap, was Savetta, obviously the favorite, and then you had the 1, 2, 3. I like the inside post positions. There's a Love Cervere, Miss Worldwide, and Candy Quest. So 1, 2, 3, 6, number 1. Now we're going to go to race number 11. That is going to be the Army Mule, and that is 7 furlong sprint on the dirt and 4-year-olds and up. How great is Nate? rallied up for a distant second, but that was subrogate. Been off for a long time, almost a year, 9 months. So I'm probably going to have to wait and see on how great is Nate. Implementation is a solid. Not going to go with the two here. Implementation solid. Safi Jr., T Gaff, nice run going between those two. 46% winning clip in the last 60 days. 6 wins, 13 starts. Second in the Fred Hooper versus some good horses and a slight cutback from a mile. So maybe that, I don't know if that's going to really make a big deal about. Some people like cutbacks, some people don't. I kind of like it sometimes, and this is one of those cases. So implementation is definitely a look see. Knightsbridge ran into traffic, forced to check up last year in the Perryville, or could have won that race, in my opinion. Debut wasn't impressive though, setting the pace, yielded at a mile down the stretch. So logically, you'd think a slight cutback here would benefit. Uh, so beaten by a weaker though, and you can see Inveigled is the one that won, and Inveigel's in this race. So Knightsbridge, I think, will be good. Will be returning to a sprint, second off the layoff for Bill Mott. So solid one. Gordon Knott, or Gordian Knott, I should say. Should improve off the second off the layoff as well, stretching out this time to 7. Showed some good chase in the GP sprint here, going down trying to get Super Chow. So I think this one will be a nice addition to the card if you want to, if you have the room for them, or a definite underneath play. So first attempt was really good. Todd Pletcher took over for Jamie Ness, so that's always a good sign when you get a guy like Pletcher in your barn training you, and then you got Irad aboard. That combination is just deadly. So 21% winners in the last 60 days. Of a Revolution, no show in the 25 debut. Back to the friendly confines for Safi and Easy Eddie. Hooking up on this one. Oaklawn Park wasn't good, but not sure for the ticket, but might be a good underneath use. Great Navigator. Not going to get there on that one. But here's Inveigled. I figured we'd look at, since we had the win here with the big 98 number, beating Knightsbridge. So, and don't sleep on Paco Lopez either. He's 22%. Paco can ride when he wants to. But I tell you, I kind of like, there's certain jockeys I like when they have that post position number 1. And Paco Lopez is one of those jockeys. I can't remember who the rest of them, obviously Calvin Burrell back in the day. And then there was another guy, I can't recall his name, from Churchill Downs, who used to just always get up somehow when he was given a horse in the number 1 post. But that's not the case here, so I'm not going to use Inveigled. Play Me a Tune, big victory in the 4-go at Turfway Park last month on the all-weather. And raced versus White Abario previous to that in the Mr. Prospector, and ran 5th in that one. That's pretty strong. Not only him, but Mufasa, who won, then Little Vic, who won the Fred Hooper in his 25 debut. So some good competition for Play Me a Tune there. Definite contender. So I'm looking at the number 3 implementation, 4 Knightsbridge, 5 Gordian Knot, and 9 Play Me a Tune. So 3, 4, 5, 9 to start, and then we'll see what the ticket ends up, if we keep all 4 or not. Likely we will. And so let's move on to our next race. Race number 12 is the Sand Springs on the turf, mile and 16th. So moving on up, Safi, Joseph, and Zahas. Good combo, but this one looks a little bit weaker. So I'm probably going to pass there. Spinning Colors, no thanks. And Vina Arana, interesting horse, shipped in last year from Ireland, immediately paid off, won her 100K maiden debut. A closer, bred to run long, but a miler to 7 furlongs is where she ran for most of her career. So you can see, I mean, the make believe horse is, I mean, those that average win distance says add distance. So maybe this is going to be a good spot for her to get it done. 4 year old filly by Make Believe. Be My Sunshine is hasn't won a race and seen the sunshine since December of 2023. Adding blinkers to hopefully improve her chances. And IRAD, I would expect her best effort, but probably won't make the ticket. Majestic Venezuela had quite a successful run versus minor state bred ranks. Vic Barbosa tossed the last one. They hit the rail and lost the rider. So you can't really do anything with that. But you can just see nothing but I mean, these are all state bred races, but I mean, it's, it is what it is. But good finishes and good showings by Mendelssohn. So one to look at. Breathe Away or a Breath Away was just that, just a breath away 3 races ago in the Forever Together. Just missed this one by a neck right here. And then the next two, not so good, stepping up into grade 3 competition, but back down into the regular listed stakes here. So uh, well placed, bunched up behind the clear winner. We will take a look at that one here in a minute. Number 7, Autumn Evening, Todd Pletcher, Junior Alvarado. 4-year-old filly stretched out to 8.5. Her last race finished third, tracking a swift pace in the Royal Delta. Closed to win. She's a win contender. I mean, that's big time numbers there. Big time early numbers, and not too bad on the late pace. Being able to hold on, hold the place in such a hotly contested scenario there is pretty solid. Todd Pletcher, obviously tough. Blind spot, no thanks. Buttercream Babe ships in for Mike Maker. She ran third last fall in the Valley View. Other than the 6th at Kentucky Downs, she's had a very consistent run here as a 3-year-old, and now making the 4-year-old debut. Has been off for 5 months, but she looks like a promising contender here. Maker's going to have her ready. Him and Saez are 21% over the last 60 days. That brings me to Ocean Club. Bethany Baumgardner has the reins now from Jack Sisterson. Bethany, if you don't know who she was mentored by the great Arne Delacour, well known for training quality turf horses overseas. So this one's in good hands. Good horse, competed well versus tougher. So I think maybe might go overlooked when they see the connections. And then Edwin Gonzalez, not the top of the list, outside post, but just ran in some really strong races. We'll have to see. But I think it's definitely one that we'll have in the mix here. And then the 11 Five Towns lost by a mere head to Ocean Club last September. Close before that in the Grade 2 Canadian. Grand Motion not having the best meet, just 5%, 2 for 38. She has a talent, but is she ready off the 6-month layoff? Not really 100% sure on that one. And then you have In Our Time, the first in Prime Power, Safi and T-Gaff, second in the Honey Fox earlier this month, third in the Pegasus. That's a big time race. Philly Mare Turf. So strong front runner here. And she could wire them, I think. So probably want to use that. It was tough to narrow it down and too many in the field to single the 12. But if you wanted to try it, I wouldn't fault you for it. So maybe the 3 I will use underneath in some exacta trifecta wagers. But I think the cream of the buttercream of the crop, I guess you could say, we're going to go 9, 10, and 12. So we are using In Our Time, and we are going to use Ocean Club, and then we're using Buttercream Babe. So moving on, race 13. Let's hit them up. Going 1 mile on the turf, Appleton Stakes. I'm not going to go with number 1, even though I always look for Frankie Dettori on turf. This one, I'm going to pass. Not even the Tory's going to tempt me. He's in a slump anyway. Uh, Good effort aboard Maximum Promise in the Jeff Ruby. I'll give him that. But this one, no thanks. Fly the W. Not impressed. 3, 4, and 5. None of them really impressed me here either. Cheap. Portofino. I looked at a little bit, but just don't have any interest here. I got more interest in other horses like Brumar. Long layoff is a concern, but good competitive horse versus this level of competition. Second in prime power. But I guess what we're getting to is the 9 horse here, and that's Major Dude, Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz. I mean, these numbers are just impressive. Should have won this Canadian turf, but got clipped by Fort Washington by a nose too. But just a monster early fractions, can run fast, can also press, closes out, single the 9 in this race, I think. Now, the one horse I did want to finish mentioning was Ice Chocolate. It's not Chocolate, it's probably Chocolat. Uh, but the wire job in the poker, everybody was impressed by that. I think that was more fluky than anything. He was just able to get out to a comfortable pace on the inner turf and just 24-48. Once you get those kind of fractions in a 1 mile race like that, there was no stopping him. So I mean, beat Talk of the Nation, a monster miler. So no thanks. Single and major dude, number 9. So now let's go on to the grand finale, the Florida Derby, and the Curlin Florida Derby. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Number 1, Neo Aquos, is going to be a sleeper on the rail, I think. Eddie Zahas. Look for this horse if he's somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 to 1, 9 to 2. Could be good. The Fountain of Youth was a good effort, leading most of the way. I'm not really sure because you're stretching out a little more, and the horse is just kind of not bred for that. No thanks on Cool Intentions. Smoking Boy, no thanks. Disruptor. Now this is the one, $1.15 million baby for the Pletcher barn. I think's got some juice. Blew him out in the maiden breaker, going 7 second time is a charm for Irad going after it. This one is going to be gonna need to make the transition to a route and not get in a speed duel with the Baffert horse in this race. And as much as I love the Gun Runner and the progeny, therefore, they have been nothing short of spectacular, but I haven't quite seen it this year uh, for the 3-year-olds. So maybe this one's going to be different. Rapoli Stables, as one of them called a motor mouth, one of our commenters. So Disruptor is a pick to win by, I believe it's Mr. Johnny. So anyway, indecisiveness, no thanks. Jimmy's Dailies, that one could make a run. I'll probably just play underneath in a single race bet, but jump. It's a tough ass to jump up, but really good numbers, and went the mile and an eighth distance with no problem, and ran second there. So definitely one to look at. Into the Dragons, not. Here's Medicat Road. This is the one, Baffert, probably the most dangerous threat to sovereignty in this race because of his ability to just run real fast. Because he just gets out of the gate in this rebel and just nearly goes to the house, but Cole Battle catches him. So if Cole Battle just falls on his face in the this weekend's Arkansas Derby, are we just gonna just immediately say that he sucks and that Medicat Road uh, was a fraud? I don't think so. I think they've earned. I think Cole Battle's earned his respect, and Medicat Road earned a lot of respect for me the way he just run those fractions. I mean, it was so fast, 22:45, going a mile and a 16th. Definitely going to have to dial it back, but the average wind distance 7.4. The breeding is there from Etiquette Road. So if you remember Authentic from that COVID year when we ran the Derby in November, got out to an early lead in the Kentucky Derby and was just no catching them. So sometimes that can definitely happen at Gulfstream, so keep an eye on that. And then another threat to sovereignty it would be Tappan Street. Brad Cox ran a tough second to Burnham Square, and now Burnham Square just ran, I think, fourth or something like that in the Fountain of Youth, but didn't look all that great. So I don't know what that means for Tappan Street, but I think he's a threat to win this race. But ultimately, my winner is the 10 Sovereignty. Wasn't quite his best coming in off the layoff in the Fountain of Youth, had dropped back to sixth, and then was looking like he was backing out of the race, and then reloaded and fired down the stretch and was able to run down River Thames and Neo Equos in the stretch. So I think won't need as much of a surge this time around. I think we're going to see a triple digit Brisnet number from Mott and Alvarado on to the Kentucky Derby for this one. I'm single in the 10 in this one, no doubt. So I think what we're looking at is wrapping things up. Leg one, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 6. Leg two is going to be 3, 4, 5, 9. Leg three is 9, 10, and 12. Then we're single in the last two legs. We're going the 9 and the 10, respectively, for a $24 ticket. So that's going to do it for the pick five for the Florida Derby. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for more. Make sure you get those picks in for the drawing and subscribe to the channel, share on social media, smash that like button. Best of luck to you this weekend. Billy Ho signing off. See you soon.